Welcome to the Stronger Than Steel podcast with your host, Austin Davidson and John Keir, talking Steelers all the time. Now, here's Austin and John.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Stronger Than Steel podcast. This is Season 3, Episode 18, and I am by myself today. I'm doing a solo episode to recap the final few picks that the Steelers had. And that would be, in round 5, they picked up Marcus Allen first, the safety out of Penn State. Jalen Samuels, the tight end or versatile player out of North Carolina State. And then in the final pick in round 7, they chose Joshua Frazier, the DT out of Alabama. So I just want to give you some of my quick thoughts on them. Firstly, Marcus Allen, it was a bit disappointing, I will say. I don't understand the direction the Steelers are going in. People seem to get it. I really don't. They're using safeties to cover all their gaps, I suppose, and I don't know. I don't like that. They didn't end up addressing a linebacker at all in this draft, not until afterwards, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But Marcus Allen's pretty good. John looked at him and he liked some of his stuff. He's a hard hitter. He's pretty good in coverage. He's okay. It's going to be interesting to see how the Steelers use him, though. I'm for one, I'm not exactly sure what his role is going to be. I know what I do like about him is that he's going to kick out J.J. Wilcox, but he lacks long speed, I think. His 40 time backs that up. And I think he is going to do best near the line of scrimmage, but what that means is the Steelers don't have a guy for deep coverage still. They still chose a guy that can't cover deep, so I really don't know the direction they're heading in. It's really questionable. So, as for our next pick, which is Samuels, he is interesting. I didn't like it. John loved it. John wanted a running back at this point. I did not. Especially with Akrum Wadley ending up being a free agent. But he's an all-around back. He's listed as a tight end, which is weird. When I found that out, because I had never even heard of him. He played like all over the field. He played wide receiver. He played fullback. He played running back. He played tight end. It's really a jack of all trades, and I don't think he's going to work in the NFL. I think it was a bad pick to start a committee around. I don't want to. It's just not a committee pick I would want. He's got good hands, but he's basically, obviously you're getting a guy in the 5th round. He's not going to be a quality starter, but I don't know. I just think that this guy offers versatility and that's it. He doesn't seem to be very good at any of his positions. Like, he doesn't really have a role. He's got to find his role. That's why he's actually drafted as a tight end. He came out as a tight end, but he's going to be playing running back and fullback more than likely, and the Steelers don't even need a fullback. We have Roosevelt Nix. Are you going to tell me you're going to put 2 fullbacks in? So he's just going to be a backup running back behind James Conner, and that's if he gives special teams abilities. I don't think he has experience at kick returner or punt returner. So for me, that's not good. I mean, he can play slot receiver, but what I wanted out of running back this year, if we were to draft one, was return ability. That's what it's going to get you on the team. But right now, I just say, why would we elect to take this guy when we could have Fitzgerald Toussaint who can do returns? I don't know. As his 3rd string running back, I'd rather Fitzgerald Toussaint. So I wasn't happy. John was. Last up is actually my favorite pick from the day. It was Frazier. And that's only because I think he could challenge McCullers for his spot. And he's very, very raw. He came in the 7th round. You don't really have to expect much out of him. And he really didn't get a chance to start at Alabama. He's just got a lot of good attributes to him that teams want to take a chance on. And the Steelers are going to take the chance on him. I feel like it was a good move. And I think he might actually make the roster as a 7th round pick because I'm still surprised McCullers made it. John wasn't as happy about this pick. John thought it was a bad pick, and I will say I'm a little upset that it ends the long streak without a Alabama player, but other than that, I was quite okay with it. I honestly don't see a problem with it. I just wish that the Steelers addressed edge and linebacker. So as for my grade for today, for these last few rounds, I gave them somewhere between a D and a D plus. I was so mad after seeing they didn't take a linebacker or just any linebacker. They didn't take an edge. They didn't take a inside linebacker. It was really bad. It was so very bad. I'm not very happy about it. But John gave it a B. He liked the Marcus Allen pick because he went over him and stuff. But he was a fan of the running back. I was not at all. And he said he didn't really like the defensive tackle, like I said. His 2 cents are that he liked Marcus Allen because he was similar to Edmonds, and he was mocked to us early, so it's a decent value pick. And he's going to contribute on special teams early on. At that point, I didn't really care about special teams help. I mean, that's, I guess, what you're looking for in these later rounds, a guy that can contribute on special teams, but I was looking for a linebacker that could contribute on special teams. I'm just going to be a salty Splatoon this whole draft. So we'll probably go into more how we thought about the entire draft later. So I'm going to withhold my grade for the entire draft. But quickly, I wanted to talk about some undrafted free agents. Probably my second favorite part of the draft for the Steelers came as an undrafted free agent. As you know, in my mock, I had wide receiver Quadre Henderson in the 7th round. And you know what? The Steelers actually brought him in as an undrafted free agent right after. And that is one of my favorite moves because I think he can make the roster as a punt returner. I am very, very happy that the Steelers were able to secure him. Along with him, they got about 8 other free agents that they brought in. Patrick Morris, the center out of TCU. Trey Johnson, the cornerback out of Villanova. Greg Gilmore, the defensive end out of LSU. Ola Adenayi, the outside linebacker of Toledo. So they did get an outside linebacker just as an undrafted free agent. That doesn't make me happy. Parker Cothran, the defensive tackle out of Penn State. Jarvian Franklin, the running back out of Western Michigan. Malik Boynton, the cornerback out of Austin P. He's got a tryout. Kendall Vickers, the defensive end out of Tennessee. Tyler Polka, the quarterback out of Gannon. He also got a tryout. And then Garrett Pognet, the linebacker out of Grand Valley State, and he also got a tryout. So those are all the undrafted free agents the Steelers brought in. I think that should really wrap it up. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed 2 guys. Matthew Thomas, a few actually. No, yeah, just 2. Matthew Thomas, a linebacker of Florida State, which John actually looked at, and I guess that's a good thing. He's an inside linebacker that was supposed to be drafted, so I mean, I guess that's something. And then also Jamar Summers, the cornerback out of UConn. And also Chris Schluger, the guard out of UAB. But really, the only one I was interested in was Quadre Henderson, and luckily he was the first one. I'm glad he was brought home to stay in Pittsburgh. Connections to James Conner, of course. They played last year together. I'm very happy with that. But other than that, this draft has hurt me. This draft has literally just been one of the worst drafts I think I've been around for. So for the Steelers, I mean, I can't really speak for other teams, but that really wraps up this episode. It was just a really short, quick. Let me get you my thoughts on this and maybe add John's a little bit. But yeah, if you have any questions for us, just email us. All our social media will be in the description below. And tell us what you think of this draft. Was it a good draft? Were you happy with day 3? I hope you were, because I'm not. I hope you were happy with this entire draft, because I'm not. But, yeah, that'll be it for today. Everybody, have a good night.
You have been listening to Stronger Than Steel podcast. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to check out our website listed in the description below.